We want to talk about our vacation because you guys, it was my first time going to France. It was my first time going to Italy. My baby had been to both.
Yeah, but none of those places.
But none of those places.
None of those places.
And so we went on a 10-day vacation, European vacation, and went to a lot of places. I reflected a ton this week. It's even interrupted my sleep. Like it's been heavy on my mind and my heart for a couple of reasons. The first thing I want to say is, it doesn't matter what degrees you have, where you live, what kind of car you drive, how much money's in your bank, your credit score, none of that. People see this. And when they see this, to them it was inferior. You don't need to be here. You don't belong here. It's time to go to the Amalfi Coast. We went to Ravello. So it's like, this is going to be like the time of our life. This is the hotel is drop dead gorgeous. The views, the water, everything was beautiful.
And
so we were excited about
it. Top city on the Amalfi Coast. It's the most beautiful. That's what everyone says. Mm-hmm. So we were all ready to, I don't know, just soak it all in.
Yeah, very excited. So we got a car up there. It took us about 45 minutes to go through the hills and the mountains.
Up the mountains.
To get all the way up there. And we enter this space and it was just like, wow.
It was breathtaking.
Breathtakingly beautiful. We were so excited. This was it's a 5-star, and I'm only saying these things to give you context, the story. Otherwise, I wouldn't even wouldn't say that. But I'm telling you this because it means something in the story. It is a 5-star hotel, very posh. It is very expensive. It is a part of a chain. Belmond is the actual chain. There are 45 hotels across the country, and they're all upper echelon hotels. Here's one of them. And so we were very like, this is, a trip of a lifetime. We were so excited about this. I thought, okay, let's do a photo shoot. My wife and I, Crystal and Aiden, can do some photos with our wives club. This is something we want to do because the background is just
you
gorgeous.
Can't go there and not
beautiful.
Do a photo shoot.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. And we hadn't done that like on a trip before, so we were excited to do that. So I was really, trying to do the behind the scenes to get this thing going. Reaching out, trying to get things finalized for the photo shoot. But also we wanted to go to Capri. We wanted to rent a private boat and go to Capri, have dinner, come back, had everything arranged, got the price, got the time, everything's good. The next morning, things started changing. Like there was a lot of confusion. There was changing the price. They were, I don't know that you can go to Capri. You should just stay on the coast, or maybe you do. There's a lot of back and forth, different people I'm talking to. So I'm getting a little frustrated because I'm not getting an answer, and I'm having to do a lot of the legwork and following up. Now, when it costs that much money to stay there, you should be knocking on our door telling us what's happening. I mean, I shouldn't have to keep coming to you, but nonetheless, I had to keep doing that. Okay. Fast forward to the next day. It's photo shoot day. Excited. We are going to do these photos. They have a photographer that they contracted that's been doing their work for, been working there for years. So we're excited. So my wife's getting ready. We bought new outfits. You saw the things that we wore in the photo shoot.
So we wanted something that was as beautiful as that setting.
Yes.
And at the hotel, they had the Poochie shop, and we found that caftan for tea, and found that red dress for me, and we were just like, okay, this just feels so good.
Yeah. So we got our new outfit. My wife was still getting ready. Crystal and Aiden were still getting ready. So I went down to meet the photographer just to kind of get things situated.
And we were a little bit late because we were doing our dresses. Yeah. Right? So he was waiting for T to come down. Both of us actually, but T went down first. For about 30 minutes.
So I get down there, and he'd been there for 30 minutes, and this is a normal place where he goes to photograph weddings and other things, right? And so I get down there, and he's like, "Great, well, it's nice to meet you. Do you have someone else coming?" Yes, they're on their way. And he started like walking me towards like where we were going to start shooting, photographs. Next thing you know, there's a lot of whispers at the counter. Whispers, people like, scurrying, talking to each other, and they called the photographer to
Security desk, the front.
or the front desk, if you would. I'm standing like in the lobby too. So again, called them over there and said, hey, we need to have security escort you, during this photo shoot. So in that moment, I don't know what's going on, right? I'm just kind of standing aside, and he came over and he's like, I don't understand this. I've done this for 7 years in this hotel, and security's never had to follow me or be with me when I'm doing photos. I'm so confused by this. Now, mind you, he had already been in the hotel lobby for 30 minutes. They talked to him, they checked him in. They didn't mention anything about security until I walked down the stairs. Now, no one in this hotel looked like me.
No.
Nobody. It's not lost on me, and it has not been that entire trip that I was the only black person in 99% of the establishment. So my wife and Crystal and Aiden came down, and the photographer, he was very frustrated by it because he was just like, I don't understand, right?
Yeah, he said it 3 times when we were doing our photographs. He was like, he was very like thrown off by it. He was like, I just don't understand why is he here?
And so in that moment, it was like, we're going to just take the pictures. We're going to figure this out. I'll go to this, manager. We'll find out what's happening or what the issue is. So the security comes down there, says you can go here, you can go here, walks down there, stays almost the entire time.
2 hours.
While here we are we're a couple taking pictures, and the security is standing there on watch to make sure we do what? Because we're staying at the hotel. And this is your photographer. So who are you not trusting? Me?
Which they recommended.
Or the photographer?
Right.
So we finished our photos again several times. He mentioned that this was very unusual. And so at the end, we thanked him, and we already knew, like, this is going to be a conversation because I want to understand what's happening. Now, don't forget about the boat, because that's still underway too. The boat situation still happening. It's supposed to happen the next day. Then we have this photograph issue. So I talked to the manager. One of them goes and talks to Aiden, trying to explain to Aiden the reason why this happened. Oh no, it's because when we have external people come in or we have an event, we have to make sure everybody's okay. Sometimes we have celebrities that are here. There was no event. There was nothing that was locked that needed to be unlocked by security. So it was just a lot of stuff. And so then Aiden said, you need to go talk to Tracy because she's the one that has been racially profiled, is what I'm going to say. And I don't just use those terms, you guys. I don't pull out the card of like, oh, this is racist. That's not even who I am. But I'm going to tell you that I'm smart enough and wise enough to know that I was profiled at this hotel. Period. So she comes over and she tries to explain to me what happened. I tell her clearly that is not true. I do not believe you for 1 minute that what you're saying is true. So she tried to, mouth over me, talk over me, pretend like it was going to be okay. I wasn't done, right? So still upset about it. Just really upset, trying to process this.
When she came over to talk to you, she was talking to me and Crystal.
And when she did come over to talk, she was literally saying something completely different. Oh, we always do this. This is not unusual. We do this because we want to make sure that the pool is safe, and that so they have to come to the pool. I said the pool was open.
Yeah, and there was
when
no
we
one
were
there.
finished.
Not one
it was
person.
open. We didn't even start at the pool. We started in the garden. We're staying at this hotel. Why can't we walk around the garden and take pictures? If there was no photographer, we could walk around the garden and take pictures. There was no event. There was no wedding. There's no reason why we cannot walk around this hotel like any other tenant. We're paying the same amount of money as everyone else in this hotel. So again, the story's changed. She stopped talking to me and started talking to my wife, Crystal, Aiden, the 3 white people, to try to convince the 3 white people this is not true. But this is my wife.
Yeah, it didn't work.
This is my wife. So she kept on, like, just trying to convince. And so then my wife said to her, because I stopped talking, She said, you need to investigate and figure out why your people told this photographer that the security needed to come. That's what you need to figure out, because clearly this is out of the norm. Well, I talked to the photographer and he said it was a misunderstanding. No, it was not. He was very clear.
She said the photographer said the opposite of what we were telling her, that he didn't say. You heard her say that? That he didn't say that he had never seen this before. He was very upset with the whole thing. They either didn't talk to him and made that up, or they talked to him and he was afraid. Yeah.
Not sure which one, but we know what we heard, because
he
all
said
four
it
of
3
us
times.
heard him say it, right?
Yeah. He was upset.
She went away and said she's going to go talk to the people and, come back. And I clearly said, hey, it's not lost on me that I'm the only black person in this hotel. Oh, no, don't say that. It's not about that. It's this, it's this, it's this. Again, same kind of lies, changing the story. She comes back an hour and a half later, talks directly to the 3 white people. Again, the 3 white people. And I'm the one that was racially profiled. Yeah. So I just said, hey, I'm done. I'm gonna keep walking. I literally just walked off and then let them just kind of talk, and you can say all you want to them. But I knew that, that this was not gonna go away, and it was not going to be, I'm not gonna be quiet about it, and I'm going to certainly say my piece. The next day we're supposed to go on the boat ride. Okay, again, drama with the boat. Oh, you can't do this. Let's try to do this. Let's get this. Oh, you got to make your own reservation. I shouldn't be making my own reservation at this hotel. You should be making a reservation for our dinner. That's the kind of hotel it is, right? Anyway, that didn't happen. At the very last minute, we were like, we're not doing this. We didn't feel good about the hotel. We didn't feel good about the experience I had. I was sick to my stomach. I was like, yeah, we're not going on this boat ride. And so we canceled it. They called, hey, we'll give it to you free. It ain't about free. We can pay for the boat.
We weren't doing any of it for money. It was,
yes.
We don't want your money.
We don't want your money. We don't want your boat.
They said, we'll pay for it. We just don't want you to have a terrible evening, a bad experience. I said, well, we've already had a bad experience.
Awful.
And we don't want to go on the boat ride. We don't want to go anymore.
And I told her.
T was very hurt, and we were all hurt too, because we love T.
I mean,
and
crying, emotional.
Yes, we witnessed it, and it was undeniable, truly. There was no other reason, there was no other excuse for them to call for security to walk us through there. There was no reason. That man was down there for 30 minutes.
They didn't say anything
They
about
could have
security.
said to him, we have a new policy. We're going to accompany you through the gardens from now on. No, that wasn't the case. And one person told us that was their policy, but the other person didn't know anything about that policy.
Which means you can't get your stories together,
yeah,
right?
And they said, oh, it was because we have events. There were no events, none, period. We didn't run into one soul. The other one said, we needed to open the gates. They're locked. There wasn't one locked gate. We went anywhere we wanted. So it was just the right arm didn't know what the left arm was saying, and it was obvious they were scrambling. And when we refused their
free boat ride,
their dinners, their everything they did, they just kept calling. I was trying to take a nap. The phone rang 3 times. 3 times.
Knocking on the door.
And they were knocking on the door. They were desperate to fix it. But it was not fix it oh, we hurt you. It was fix it oh, we fucked up. That's what it felt like. And we were we're not interested in what you're trying to do now. It was, it was very upsetting. It was wrong.
So we canceled the boat. We didn't do the boat. We, the photo shoot, we finished that because, they were there. I'm going to tag this brand because I need to know what happened all the way to the top. This is a very established, very premier brand. But what we don't want is people just randomly going and writing reviews and you didn't stay there. I don't want you all to feel like you need to take up or say something to them, or that's not really why we're not doing it for this reason. We're doing it because we want to share with you just this experience, which I've not had this experience before. I mean, of course, there's subtle things that happen, right? Racism, but not being racially profiled in a space where they basically were looking at me like, what in the hell are you doing here? Because there's nobody around here who looks like you. How are you in this hotel? Is really how I felt the entire time at that hotel. I felt like, what are you doing here? Nothing's gonna change about my experience and how I felt. But what it did is it reminded me of who I am and how I'm seen to people, no matter what my accomplishment, no matter what I have. It is, you are a Black person and you are less than. And that is an awful feeling. It's an awful feeling. So they will be told what the experience, was like for me, and they are not going to accept it. They're probably going to deny all of it, but we were all there and know exactly what happened.
Yeah, they're not going to admit it. I was so proud to stand next to my wife. And I was really proud of her, the way she handled the situation. She didn't back down, and she wasn't, crazy angry. She was firm, as she should, and I was too. It was unexpected, honestly. It was unexpected. Yeah. To be in a place like that and to feel like you don't belong.
Being the only one is not new for me, right? I've experienced it a lot in my life, being the only one in the room. But I go in there and sit down at the table like everyone else because I belong there. So I walked into that hotel like I belonged there. Walked into that hotel to to book a private boat or get something from the boutique or like anyone else would do. But it was still different that I was the one doing it. And I know for a damn fact, no matter what they say, if I was not there and my wife had been down there and met the photographer, security would not have been following them.
No, it's true.
Period. No matter what they say. I know that to be true.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
I know. So I'm really glad that we all had that experience together. My wife experienced that with me too. That our friends experienced that as well, because that was new for them. It's just a reminder that it's not always easy, right? It's not always easy.
No, and they were intent on making us feel like we did not experience any of that.
Yeah,
it
that's
wasn't
not true.
Real. It wasn't true. There is no way. We don't do that. And we said, yes, you do, because you did. I mean, period.
Yep.
Tried to. They just ignored it
and
outright.
talk over you. She just kept talking over me, talking over me, trying to tell me what I think. I don't care how much you say it.
Yeah.
But it was not like, I am sorry that was your experience here. That is not who we are. That is not, I am going to get to the bottom of this. You don't have a right to tell me how I've experienced this situation. You have a right.
Yes.
Apologize and say, that should not have happened. I am so sorry that happened.
We're going to find out why that happened. What happened? Who did? We're going to investigate.
Yeah.
We're going to make this right.
Because that
we
should not
wouldn't have
happen.
said, and it would have been like, okay, it was one person being stupid. No, this is institutional.
Yeah, the whole group got together and started whispering and talking
Yes.
and called him over to say,
Apologize and mean it,
with you.
right.
Apologize and say, that should not have happened.
Yeah.
Because you are a guest just like everyone else is, and you have free reign over this. If we didn't have a photographer, they would have said nothing to us to go to the gardens to take pictures. So the photographer comes and all of a sudden, oh, it's heightened. Oh my God, there's a Black. What is she gonna do? What, steal flowers? I mean, what? From the garden?
You shouldn't have to lead with your resume
Right.
to have respect.
I'm Dr. Brown. I mean, I don't need
What
to do
the
that.
hell? No, I'm Tracy. This is my wife, Cheryl. Here we are.
And that's what we do. Like, just
That's the way we
regular
show up
people.
in life.
That's how we are. I don't lead with that.
Never.
You don't lead with who you
Never.
are, what you have, or we just live.
I think cemented our resolve, you know, to fight, to stand up for equality. So there's going to be some good that comes out of it.
Absolutely.
100%.
And hopefully that won't happen to another Black person who walks through those doors. Yeah, it is traumatizing. Like, y'all, it's really bothered me. Like, I've really literally not talked about it except to my wife and recently my sister. I've not even uttered all this stuff to anyone outside of the group. Because I've been just processing and thinking this week, like, you know, and just the implications for this and how many people experience this in their lives, you know, especially Black men, especially. And just the ignorance of it all and the unnecessary part of this, that people will look at you because your skin color is different and think that you are less than. Yes.
And you know, I don't know why I thought this would make some kind of difference, but I felt especially surprised because usually when you're in that level environment, people are more educated, they're more cultured, they're more classy, they're more open, they've lived, they've seen the world, you know. That's what was so shocking to me, is you can be at the very top and you're still Black. The top of your life, you're there. You don't experience that on a daily basis. We go there to celebrate life, to celebrate friendship, to celebrate beauty, just all of it, to enjoy, to just wind down.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're Black.
We're Black first, that's right.
It was so ugly. It was so ugly. That place became ugly. I know that sounds crazy, but I have cold chills telling you guys this. It really felt like that. It was like, we don't want to be here. And we could have stayed until another 6 hours or so. We didn't have to leave. And we just looked at each other, all of us, and we just said, let's get out of here. Like, we don't want to be here anymore.
I just don't want it to be like a onslaught of stuff towards them, because that's not who we are. We're sharing this for visibility. We do want them to understand the seriousness of it, because when you think about people like that have experienced things like this and had the kind of upbringing and challenges you've had in your life, and you get to this place where you feel like you finally, you know, are where you dreamed. I don't know if I could even dream where I am now. Like, it's wild how blessed I am. But when you finally get to this place where you're like, yeah, this is really great, considering the upbringing and considering all the challenges, and then for someone to diminish you and make or try to make you feel less than or see you as less than because of your the color of your skin, it is just it's more hurtful than it is.
It's like
it didn't really piss me off. I was just like, really? I mean, this is what we're doing in 2024.
Yeah.
And I do think it's important that C's voice is heard too, because she's white. She's my wife, of course she's gonna back me, but I say that, you guys, because a Black person saying something, oh, okay, yeah, of course you're gonna say that. A white person who observed it and saw it and says the same thing, yeah.
Oh, they're gonna hear, they're gonna hear.
It feels different. You've never heard us talk about being racially profiled, or they did this because I'm Black. That's not even how I talk. That's not even my interaction. I don't experience things like that. That's not who I am. So if I say it, trust me, it happened.
Yeah.
It happened.
Oh, it did happen.
Yeah. They're gonna learn that you can't treat people like that and expect them to cower and be quiet.